Hi there, welcome back to Profit First, episode 5, I think now. With me today, I've got Ben Cleminson, from Square in the Air. So firstly, Ben, big hello to you.
Hi, Phil. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all, no problem. So for those of you, or for the people that are out there that don't actually know Square in the Air and yourself, Ben, perhaps you could just fill us in a bit on what you do and how you help people.
Yeah, sure. So we're a PR and marketing agency, primarily focused on the sports betting, gaming, wider sports sectors, a little bit of fintech as well. Yeah, we've been around since 2006, London based, but we've sort of built out our team around the country. We offer B2B, B2C communications, social media, design, video production, sponsorship activation, a whole range of sort of marketing areas. And we've also recently launched a joint venture with a US-based agency. We'll go into that in a bit. The sports betting world's kind of blowing up over there at the moment. So yeah, the new agency is called Chalk and Dog, and it's a collaboration between ourselves and an agency in Boston called CTP.
Fantastic, good stuff. So obviously a lot's gone on in the wider world over the last couple of years. So how has Square in the Air sort of fared over that time, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, look, going back to sort of March 2020, I was working at the Cheltenham Festival, which was obviously famous for being one of the last sporting events before lockdown. Yeah, but so that was an interesting week. Yeah, and then obviously, look, sport's a big part of what we do. It's what we're passionate about, and when sport was suspended, the business had to adapt, really. Obviously, we've got a lot of other clients in the wider sort of gaming space that and other clients who are being innovative with things like virtual sports and things like that to try and keep people engaged during those first couple of months of lockdown. So yeah, it was certainly a challenging couple of months for us after what had been a really good year. Things then sort of picked up as sport came back. It was actually, I mean, it was probably only sort of 2 months. Certain things like horse racing, which we're heavily involved in, that continued. We've got a client out in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Jockey Club. That was one of the only sort of sports, along with some sort of table tennis and some other sports like in other European countries. So yeah, the return of sport really helped us. And then since then we've kind of had to evolve a little bit as a business. We've added different services and things like that, and it's been touch wood, things have been going pretty well.
Good. So you said you've had to evolve a little bit. So what are the main changes you've made, Ben, over that period of time?
Yeah, so look, I mean, I suppose since we started out, we were very much, my background was PR. Bill and Ben, a bit embarrassing, but the founder and MD, his background was very much marketing and sports betting. So the whole kind of PR marketing world has just evolved massively in recent years. So social media is an obvious one. We sort of started our social media team maybe sort of 5 or 6 years ago, and that's really grown now, working for lots of B2B and B2C clients. Design, we've got a really talented team of graphic designers, so providing all sorts of assets for our clients. We've then recently added in-house video production. We would produce, effectively what we do is we produce content for our clients, and that could be on social, that could be video, it could be print. So yeah, we've just, I suppose, looked at new ways to bring innovative creative content for our clients.
Fantastic. So what would you say the biggest win has been, would you say, in the last sort of year or so then, Ben?
I don't necessarily want to name specific names. I mean, we've done really well. We've been engaged by new clients, sort of high profile sports betting operators. We've been retained by the likes of the Hong Kong Jockey Club. We've been working on the Saudi Cup, which is the world's most valuable horse race, for 2 years, which has been really interesting project. And yeah, I've been over there a couple of times, and yeah, been really exciting one to work on. And then Chalk and Dog is probably the really interesting one, because yeah, we were weighing up what our approach for the US market would be, whether we set up an office in New York or things like that. And yeah, we found, after like meeting with remotely with a number of different agencies. We found a really good partner in CTP. So we launched that back in July, and we've already got 4 clients on board. So yeah, their background is very much in the kind of sports world, but also the sports betting or sports wagering world. So they've worked with the Breeders' Cup and Boston Red Sox and a number of other betting brands. And our, I suppose, expertise really is that sector. So we've the idea is to bring the expertise and experience of both agencies together, and hopefully it's yeah, it will flourish.
Fantastic. So most businesses have challenges throughout the growth phase. So what would you say your biggest sort of challenges have been sort of over the last year or so then, Ben?
I mean, look, I think it's the same as a lot of companies, right? During since COVID, obviously, we're working in a different way. One thing we were able to do during COVID was kind of, we'd always previously recruited in London where we're based, but we've now got a big team up in the north around the Manchester way, where you can probably tell I'm from. So yeah, we've that, obviously there's pros and cons with and we're obviously not fully remote working, but that has been challenging, obviously, to make sure all the team are kind of are engaged with their yeah, other teams and things like that. So yeah, we've been having, we did lots of things in lockdown, like fun things from sort of cocktail making classes to cooking classes, fitness, yoga, all these different things, which I think was really well received. And yeah, now we're back in the office, whatever that be, 2 or 3 days a week, and the Manchester team come down to London and others go up there. So yeah, look, it's been challenging, but I like to think we're, as most people are, we're hopefully through the other side, and yeah, just getting used to the new normal as it's been described.
Yeah, and I think it's almost unfair of people to expect everybody just to adapt to the new normal that quickly, isn't it? Really, in terms of, remote working has always been a thing, but actually, if we want to have this sort of hybrid situation, how's it going to work? Not just in the wider business community, but for us as well, for our businesses, and that I find is a real challenge for a lot of people. So I totally get what you're saying there. So what would you say you've sort of learned about yourself during this time in terms of the wins and the challenges you've had to go through?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite similar sort of answer to my previous one, really. Again, it's like none of us have gone through this kind of experience over the past. I mean, it's been a wild few years, hasn't it? And so yeah, look, I mean, obviously, I used to work from home occasionally anyway, but yeah, look, I suppose it's just working really closely with our internal teams, but also with our clients. So making sure everyone is happy, getting everything they need. We're catching up. We're still, ultimately for us, we're a creative agency, so we live or die by our creativity. So I suppose the issue for some people in lockdown and working from home is that kind of the headspace, the thinking space that you need, because ultimately we're about ideas, right? We're only as good as our last idea. So yeah, I suppose giving yourself and giving members of the team that kind of thinking space to come up with the next good idea across whatever area of the business. I like to think we've got a really sort of talented team of creative people who are constantly looking for that exciting new idea, whatever it may be. So yeah, I'd say that's one of my key learnings. Just don't try not to get bogged down in just the endless day-to-day stuff, and give yourself that sort of creative thinking time.
Fantastic. So what would you say is next for Square in the Air then, Ben? What are your future plans?
Well, yeah, look, like I said, Chalk and Dog's really exciting. I mean, there are a number of sort of like regulatory challenges with the sort of betting and gaming sector in the UK. There's a white paper due to come out we don't know when, obviously, with the recent governmental changes and things like that. So yeah, look, the US market is really exciting. I'm not just for anyone watching. Online sports betting was legalized in the US in 2018. It's on a state by state basis. So there's not many industries I can think of that are kind of 20 years behind us in the UK and Europe. So it's really interesting. There is people talk about a gold rush and all these kind of things, new states opening up all the time, different regulatory requirements in all those different states. A lot of operators are spending quite, or have been spending quite a lot on marketing to try and bring in the customers. So yeah, look, we've got some really interesting sort of tech-based companies that are more on the B2B side at the moment, in the US, but yeah, that's a big area of focus for us. Obviously, that's chalk and dog. In terms of Square in the Air, yeah, look, I mean, we're just looking to continue our growth, really. I mean, like I mentioned, like Hong Kong Jockey Club, Saudi Cup. We've got clients pretty much all over the world, both on the B2B and the B2C side. So yeah, and like I mentioned, video production, we only started year and a half ago. So we're building out that team. Like I mentioned, the social media side of things. Obviously, we cover 24/7 sort of social media feed. So it's not a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job, but the sporting world isn't, of course. So yeah, look, we're just looking to any services we can add that we don't like offer at the moment, but then also looking at different geographical regions and everything else. Yeah, and attending lots of industry events. There's a big conference in Barcelona at the end of September, and there's another one in Las Vegas in October. So all these kind of face-to-face events are really good in terms of business development and just networking.
Good. So if your ideal client is out there right now, or someone that you just like to meet, someone you might like to collaborate with, what would that person look like? What sort of role would they have? What sort of organization? What would they be responsible for? And then the last question there is, how can you help them as well?
Yeah. So look, I mean, like betting and gaming is our kind of bread and butter, if you like. That's what the business was founded on, because we felt there was a gap in the market for an agency that really understood the space. So look, anyone who's working in the betting and gaming space and is looking for anything to help them with their overall business objectives and things like that. So yeah, look, it could be a sports book who's looking for assistance around social media or PR. It could be they've just secured a big sponsorship and we could help activate that sponsorship. The wider sports world as well, obviously, like there's a lot of technology in sport, there's a lot of data particularly, so we work very much across the business of sport, and then really for us, I suppose it's just brands who are connected to sport, because a lot of what we do, like working with sort of leading tier 1 sports books, is we activate their partnerships, whether that's brand ambassadors or horse racing sponsorships, football sponsorships, esports, things like that. So that doesn't need to be a betting brand. That could be an alcohol brand, like tires. It could be anything. So really, yeah, where we sit is that kind of intersection between betting, sport, brands, activation.
Good. Okay. And so final question then, Ben, if someone wants to get in contact with you to find out more about what Square in the Air do and how you could possibly help them, how best can they reach you?
Yeah, so look, LinkedIn's as good as anything. I'd say our website, but we're just about to launch a new website. I'm not sure exactly when that's going live. So look, take a look at our website. Yeah, and look, always happy to meet new people, and if there's anything we can do to help, we're quite a flexible agency. We don't necessarily tie clients into long-term contracts and things like that. And even if it's just a simple brief where you're just looking for some creative ideas, like I said, we live or die by our creativity. So I'd like to think when people come to us and say, look, what would you do with this? We'd come back with some nice creative ideas that can really add value to a business.
Lovely. Okay, Ben. Well, that's been absolutely fantastic. It's been really enjoyable speaking to you. And anybody out there that's watching this right now, we're going to leave the comments below in LinkedIn, so you'll be able to contact Ben directly, and hopefully he'll be able to help you get better results from your business and the promotion and marketing and the PR that goes alongside that. So for now, Ben, thank you so much, and catch up soon.
Very much, Phil.
Take care. Bye.